This is Abraham Anderson. He was an icebox manufacturer in New Jersey in the mid-1800s. In 1860, Abraham decided to expand into the food business, and he started the Anderson Preserving Company. In 1869, he went into business with this man, a fruit merchant from Bridgeton, New Jersey. And this guy was Joseph A. Campbell. Now, in 1876, Abraham left the business, so Joseph changed the name to the Joseph A. Campbell Preserve Company. Now, these two men are considered the founders of the Campbell's Company. And obviously, they are very important, especially Mr. Campbell, company's named for him. But neither of them are the guy who I would say is the most important guy in the history of the Campbell's Company. And that man was John T. Dorrance. The year is 1897, and John's uncle is running the company. Now, John is a smart guy, but he starts on the ground floor. He's getting paid $7.50 a week. Now, adjusted for inflation, that's still like $250 a week. And John T. Dorrance is a very smart guy. He's got 2 degrees in chemistry, one of them from MIT, the other one from Göttingen University in Germany. The guy could understand chemistry in German. Now, the reason why John Dorrance is the most important guy in the history of the Campbell's Company is because using his chemistry, he worked to try to find a way to reduce the weight of the soup. He found a way to halve the amount of water that was in the soup can, which is the heaviest ingredient in a can of soup. And by doing this, he was able to put more product in a smaller can. This was the invention of condensed soup. This revolutionized the company, made it bigger than it ever was by far. He went on to become the president of the company and eventually purchased the company out from the Campbell family. Now, John was in charge of the company from 1914 to 1930. I want to go back a little bit, though, in time to go to 1898 to talk about Herberton Williams. Herberton is not a name you hear anymore. Got to bring back those old-fashioned names. When was the last time you met a Leonard or a Guy? It was in the late 1800s that Herberton came up with the color scheme for the company, this bright red color. And the reason he chose it was because it was the color of the Cornell football team. And that color scheme is still used today, red with white, and then a bronze medal from the 1900 Paris Exposition. Now, the organizers of this exposition invited 83,000 companies to bring their products to this sort of World's Fair. 7,000 of those companies came from right here in the United States of America, including Campbell's. They gave out over 8,000 gold medals, 13,000 silver medals, and 12,000 bronze medals. And it was a bronze medal that the Campbell Soup Company won, and they put that on their packaging, and it remains there to this day.
I always start supper with soup, a really satisfying soup like Campbell's vegetable beef. From the very first sip of that good soup, I see good things begin to happen. Everybody brightens up and relaxes.
Probably the most important female in the history of the Campbell's Company designed these characters. These are the Campbell's Kids. They came out in 1904. They were created by this lovely lady, Grace Drayton. Grace was a very, very successful cartoonist at the time. In fact, her cartoon Dolly Dimples, considered one of the best ever, and very much looked like those Campbell Soup Kids. Well, she designed the Campbell Soup Kids, and they still use them in their advertising today. And I find them weird and creepy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Guy, how could you dislike the Campbell's Kids? They're just adorable little moppets. Look at how weird this kid looks. What's going on? Has he had too much sodium? Is that the message they're sending out? Because I know there's a lot of sodium in those cans of soup. This kid is swollen up. He looks like he's finished a meat lover's pizza and then downed it with a salt-covered margarita and went right to bed.
They make the soup the world loves best.
So good, we'll make a lot.
That's Campbell's Tomato Soup.
Campbell's has other mascots. They purchased Franco-American many years ago, and so the Franco-American SpaghettiOs are now Campbell's SpaghettiOs. And they have the SpaghettiOs mascot. He's just an O. This is one of those hideaway cans that you put your valuables in. That way when a thief comes into your house, he's not going to steal your valuables unless the thief has a SpaghettiOs Jones. And you never know if the thief's going to come in and be like, ooh, SpaghettiOs, and then it'll open it up and I'll have all your valuables. So don't put your valuables in a SpaghettiOs can. It's not a good idea. The place you need to put your valuables is inside your SpaghettiOs fanny pack. And then here come the swollen-faced dolls again. Could somebody check their blood pressure?
Johnny came calling one Sunday. The girl of his dreams was so sweet. She served him some wonderful dishes, but he found the meal incomplete.
No soup?
Good day, Irene, good day. Goodbye, he sighed. To get the punch of soup for lunch,
I'll seek another bride.
Here's a coloring book that explains that the Campbell Soup Kids have been around since the days of the caveman. Campbell's Kids, a story of soup coloring book. What food comes in hundreds of varieties, tickles your taste buds, warms you in a wink, and has been savored around the world for over 10,000 years? Soup! In days of old, when knights were bold and jousting was all the rage, the cooks knew how to feed a crowd, and they put soup on center stage. If you don't love soup, you don't love America. They said, put away your soup making pan. It's all coming in a can. Now, if you thought that was the only Campbell Soup coloring book, well, you got to get ready for the Garden of Goodies. Yes, even the Garden of Eden featured soup. I haven't read the Bible in a while, but I don't think Adam and Eve arrived on a helicopter. If this vintage ad is to be believed, every single grain was hand inspected by Gertrude here. The 1995 Campbell Kids calendar says never underestimate the power of a Campbell Kid. So this kid can overpower me too. Oh, look at this. You can get a silver spoon with the Campbell Soup Kids right on the top. Yeah, that won't make you uncomfortable while you eat. Oh, wow, this is cool. 1954 Fisher-Price wooden tractor. Captain America with the Campbell's Kids helping to save energy. Turn off your television or radio when no one's using them. All right. Turn out your lights when they're not in use. I don't like this. I don't like the face that the moon is giving the kids. And I feel like their heads would have exploded by this point. In a moment, YouTube's going to throw up some videos on the screen here. On this side will be a video I did about the history of dinosaur chicken nuggets. It's actually a rather involved story. For some reason, Purdue had the exclusive rights to Dino chicken nuggets, and they gave up on them, and now they're everywhere. It's a weird story. It goes up and down. It starts before Jurassic Park, surprisingly. Otherwise, YouTube says that this is what is best for you, and I don't think they know you as well as me, but if they do, go ahead and click that one. And there's a second channel now with even more videos, so go check that out. Need more viewers on there, need more subscribers, and I'll see you next time.